look, he didn't play particularly well. 4 of 16. Look, I'm just gonna keep this real short and sweet. That's not indicative. That's not a reflection of what Shador Sanders is going to be. He hasn't practiced or played with the first team all reps. He's going to be the starter this week. Let's wait and see for further evidence regarding Shador Sanders. Um, Cleveland, Miles Garrett. Hey, another great performance by you was wasted. He had 4 sacks in that game. He leads the NFL in sacks right now with 15. Um, he brought that on himself by staying with the team. I understand money and financial reasons, but not all money is good money. And he could have went elsewhere. He wouldn't make as much money like he is in Cleveland. Nevertheless, he would have made a good amount of money given his value, given what he is. And on top of that, he would have more importantly put himself in the best position to compete. So you're stuck with Cleveland. And look, I've heard a lot of people what they said about Shador Sanders, whether he's being sabotaged, whether the Browns don't want him, Kevin Stefanski is their type of QB or whatever. Look, all I'm going to say is regarding that game, they'll just look at the numbers. 4-16. He was horrible. Shador made some nice plays, made some solid throws. I still, again, we need to see him better prepared. We need to see him more with first teams in order for us to have a better evaluation, a better judgment of Shador Sanders. And if you're Kevin Stefanski, considering how Dylan Gabriel has played, why couldn't you at some point put in Shador Sanders for first team reps so that Shador Sanders could be further ahead? Doesn't make sense, but again, it is Cleveland. Um, they just can't find a way to get it together with the quarterbacks. Isn't there now their 18th quarterback that they're about to start and still like a losing record?
They they've started more quarterbacks in their history than there have been American presidents.
That should tell you all you need to know, folks.
Dude, stats
they
for your ass.
Mm-hmm.
they have started more. They have had more starting quarterbacks in their franchise's history than America has had presidents. And America was born in 1776.
Well, here's a
We're
comment.
on so we're on President 47 now. So they've had at least 50.
Well, here's a comment from our guy Dwayne Coleman where there was some idiots talking about where he starts. There's no excuse. I'm like, bro, he's playing with the Cleveland Browns. Well, he's not in the best situation to succeed or flourish. But look, like I said, champ, we gotta wait and see what's gonna happen with Shador Sanders. I would like for him. I don't know if there's any noise from the background, but
Oh, that's probably me. My
oh, I'm
bad.
sorry. No, it's all good. But
Trying to
I
adjust
think,
my
champ,
mic.
no, it's all good. Don't worry about it, big fella. But champ, I think it's best for Shador Sanders to go elsewhere. Because if this is how Shador Sanders is going to be evaluated by not getting enough first team reps and by Cleveland, then I'm sorry. I'm Shador Sanders. I try to get up out of here. And I would like to go to a team with coaching and structure. Doesn't need to be a big fancy market, anything like that. I would like to see him go to the Rams. I would like to see him go to a team with a good enough head coach, a competent starting quarterback where I can just sit and learn the offense as much as possible, get some first team reps with the offense in practice, and then eventually my number will be called so that I can be better prepared. Could you say that they're sabotaging Shador Sanders? You can make that argument because you're not even getting first team reps. That is embarrassing. Whether you believe he's the guy or not for you, you should at least give him an opportunity for him to work with the first team so that he could be developed, so that he can grow and evolve as a player. Whether you believe he's the guy for you or not, nevertheless, for him not to get any first team reps is totally a joke. BRF, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I do find it kind of fishy that when Joe Flacco was there and he was the initial starting quarterback, Dylan Gabriel got first team reps as the number 2. So, I mean, wouldn't it be only fitting when Dylan Gabriel became the starter that Shador get reps with the 1 because all it takes is one play? You're one play away as the number 2. You are one play away. I mean, I don't. I mean, if people can't see, it's clear that Kevin Stefanski ain't a fan of his. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but at the same time, you have to be professional. You have to be a coach about the situation and understand that your backup is one play away from having his number called and being out there and playing ball. And it's not like Dylan Gabriel was like lighting up the league. I mean, he did all right. I mean, it's not like he was not lighting up the league. I mean, I liked some of his decision making. It wasn't always perfect, but I liked, he ran if he needed to run. I mean, he's got decent anticipation on his throws for the most part. He was all right, but I mean, it's not he was setting the world on fire. And then, it got to a point where he was just like playing like absolutely horrible. So, but I mean, even still though, you, I personally think it was a mistake for Cleveland to draft 2 quarterbacks anyway. If you weren't, if you weren't going to take one in the first round, which I felt like you should have, and you didn't. And then not only do you take 2 quarterbacks, but you take them in the mid rounds, like in the 4th and the 5th round. So it's like, I don't know where your mindset is. One quarterback, okay, you took Dylan Gabriel in the 4th, okay, that's fine. But then you follow it up with Shador, and I'm just like, okay, what are you doing? Like, what is the method to the madness you got going on here? Because you definitely got some madness going on. It was just, I don't think anybody could put their finger on the Cleveland Browns thought process at the time going into the draft, taking both Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders. But but it's like I said, you had Dylan Gabriel taking first team reps when Joe Flacco was the starter because you knew he's a play away. You should have been doing the same thing with Shador Sanders. And the fact, when he came out when they said, "Oh, this is the first time he played with the first team like all year," I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? Kevin Stefanski, you are a 2-time AP Coach of the Year. What are you doing? What are you doing? You should have been getting Shador as ready as possible in case his number needed to be called as well. Honestly, at this point, it's like you have to see what you have in him now. You don't have a choice. He's going to be the starter this Sunday. You have to see what you have. You have to get him ready, and you have to prep him the best way possible to go out and play well. Because, let's face it. Yeah, he might have been 4-16. Man, I counted 5 drops. Those
I,
receivers did not help. Those receivers did not help him at all in that game. Shador
not
was
to
making some
mention,
good throws in the game.
not to mention the one throw he made in the end zone.
Pretty ball in the end zone. Was that good coverage? Absolutely. But he gave his guy a chance to make that play in the back corner of that end zone. He gave his guy an opportunity to make the play. And honestly, it's that old adage. If you get your hands on it, you gotta catch it. It's that old adage. If you get your hands on the ball, you gotta catch it. And that was at least 5 opportunities I've seen guys get their hands on the ball and drop it, despite the coverage. And I get it. Hey, this is the NFL, man. This big boy football. You playing against the best of the best. But this big boy football on both. You're a pro. They pay you to go out and make those hard catches like that. That's what they pay you to do. So those were missed opportunities to help your quarterback get the ball down the field, make more plays, possibly score more points. Because you may say, "Oh yeah, he was 4-16." Shador actually looked pretty good out there with his throws and his accuracy. He looked good. It's not. It'd be one thing if he was just all over the place and looked horrible. Shador didn't look horrible at all in his first game. He looked poor, calm, cool, collected. It didn't. He didn't seem like he was rattled. It just at the end of the day, the plays weren't falling for him. And Rex Ryan, we need to have a little talk, sir. We
Oh
need to have
yeah.
a chat. We need to have a chat. I'm about sick of you, sir. Okay, we get it. You don't like Shador. Completely understand. Quit finding ways to nitpick this dude, bro. He was sitting on the sideline. He was making it about him. Lamar Jackson was looking for him. He should have went and looked. Shut up. Okay, shut up. There are more important ways you can nitpick this dude other than, oh, he's on the sideline, sitting on the bench, he's making everything about him. Shut up.
It looks pretty
Shut
bad.
up.
It looks pretty bad when Emmanuel Archo is calling you out.
Like, dude, like shut up.
I'm
Shut
sorry, but
up.
hey, that's the truth, big fella. It looks
Like, bro, it's like you can tell when the media doesn't like certain personalities or certain athletes. You can always tell when they don't like someone because at least once a week, if they even as so much wipe they butt the wrong way, it gets called out in the media. It's ridiculous, and I'm not even trying to make excuses for the kid. I'm not trying to make it. I'm not in no way trying to make excuses for Shador Sanders because I mean, the numbers are going to show he didn't play that well. But if you really dive into the context of the situation and you really look at the game tape and you look at the highlights, he he threw the ball pretty well considering he never got first team reps. He threw the ball pretty well. He ran when he needed to run. He made plays, and even on a couple of the balls he completed were chunk plays, getting the ball down the field. But I'm sorry, y'all got to stop nitpicking this dude. Does he bring some of it on himself? Absolutely. His last name is Sanders, though. What do you expect? His daddy is the greatest corner in the history of the game and would let you know when he shuts you down. I mean, that's Deion Sanders, bro. I mean, what do y'all expect? But I understand they're gonna rub people the wrong way, but at the same time, I felt I feel like he can border on cockiness a little bit, but at the same time, if you in the NFL and you believe in yourself, I would rather you come into the league and believe in yourself as far as your talents and your abilities, as opposed to not telling everybody what you think you can do. You should believe in yourself when you come into the league. I don't know, man. I saw that clip when Rex Ryan was talking about him sitting on the sidelines and making it about himself, and I'm just like, you have got to be kidding me. This dude probably feels like crap. He probably feels like he cost his team the game. As a matter of fact, I heard in reports that he was taking it on himself. He was taking it on himself. And his teammates were defending him like, no, man, we like Myles Garrett, like, no, we got to play for him too. It's not just you, it's all of us. We got
and
to play for you too.
he also made it clear he didn't want to be a distraction to Dylan Gabriel.
And we talked about that. We talked about that on UGSP the last episode. We talked about that. And I how do you not respect someone coming from Shador Sanders' perspective to be like, I love the love. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate y'all supporting me. But y'all got to show more love to Dylan Gabriel. He's the starter. You got to show more love to him. I don't want to cause a rift. I don't want to cause a distraction. How do you not respect that? How do you not respect the guy as a rookie coming in, making a statement like that, making a stand like that, saying, hey, I appreciate y'all, but at the end of the day, Dylan's the guy. Y'all got to show him more love. I don't want to cause any rifts. And it's like, okay, this is a far cry from the arrogance and the cockiness and everything that y'all talking about pre-draft and all that stuff. This is a far cry from here. It's almost like he's got a dad that could, that kind of could show him the way as far as like how to handle the media in the National Football League. I mean, I'm just saying. But just I'm sick of the nitpicking of him. I'm really sick and tired of it. It ain't at this point. It's not even making excuses anymore. It's quit trying to nitpick Shador Sanders on everything he does. Cause I wasn't even thinking about the fact that he was sitting on the bench after the game and didn't look for Lamar, and I'm pretty sure he found him eventually. Because you can't because Lamar Jackson is like it's like this it's this evolution of quarterback, and it's the evolution of it's the evolution of the let's just keep it a buck. It's the evolution of the black quarterback in the sport. Like young guys saw Michael Vick, they saw Cam Newton, they see Lamar Jackson now with all of his successes, his MVPs, making it to the AFC Championship game, like just how 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 game changing of a player that he's been, and guys see that, they admire that, and they respect that. So I'm pretty sure he found Lamar at some point and hollered at him. Like, I don't need all this nitpicking. Like, I saw that clip with Brett trying, and I'm just like, dude, you just don't like him. I mean, analyze his game. You could talk about say he was bad. Say he was bad. You can even ignore the fact that there were 5 drops. Say he was bad, but sitting on the sideline after the game, that's what we doing. That is what we doing. Like, come on, bro. Get out of rest. Get out of rest. Y'all gotta quit nitpicking him. Quit nitpicking him, because I promise you this: if he ends up being a success story and he turns into a really, really good quarterback, the diehards that truly support him are going to save every single. They're going to find and they're going to save every clip of every analyst, every journalist, every draft pundit that knocked any little thing he did, and they're going to rub it in their face for years to come if he ends up being a success story. But this nitpicking over the smallest things is just, I don't know. It makes my ass itch. It's annoying. It's annoying, bro. It's annoying. It really is.
Oh, look at
It's
this.
it's
He's not
it's
familiar with
annoying.
Southern jargon of BRF.
It's annoying. It's annoying, bro. It just it rubs me the wrong way. It rubs me the wrong way. Just
God damn.
That's an old Southern
I didn't, I
saying.
didn't,
Okay.
I didn't mean to hit you with the soul like that. But I mean, it's just, it just, it irks me. It irks me when
Well,
you
it hurt.
nitpick
Well,
any wrong move. It just,
well, it irks
ugh.
me all the time listening to Jason Whitlock's ass, but I digress. But
I got him in the TikTok earlier. So I'm saying, I'm
before I
saying.
let Champ go, I'm breaking down this report. This is according to Ross Dellinger, who is from Yahoo Sports covering college football. LSU is finalizing terms of a contract proposal and is seeking Lane Kiffin's commitment within the next week.
Damn. I wanted him to stay at Ole Miss, man.
Big fella.
I wanted him to stay at Ole Miss, man. I think that I don't. Number one, I think that he's gonna be able to recruit a hell of a lot more. He's gonna have a lot more money in his pocket at LSU, and his resources are gonna be grand. But I don't like. Look, let's just keep it all the way a buck. Lane Kiffin is the James Franklin of the SEC. Let's just keep it all the way a buck.
I like
I
that
don't understand.
comparison.
Look, am I lying?
I like
No.
that comparison.
He's the James Franklin of the SEC. He will lose a big one when he has to win it. That is
And
why I
Virginia Tech
wanted
and
him to.
Virginia Tech just hired him.
Yes.
And we don't worry, we're gonna get into that later on the show. But
So yeah, he's the James Franklin of the SEC. He's gonna lose a lot more big ones than he's gonna win, and we've seen it everywhere he has gone, from Florida Atlantic and now to Ole Miss. He's lost a few against us, a few against Alabama. He's lost a few where he actually had the game won
or you could say he was the Ryan Day before the Natty.
before the Natty. Yeah, but I want to see him win, to see him stay at Ole Miss. Number one, he built that culture at Ole Miss. He built a winning culture. He was able to, he's on the verge of a college football playoff. And imagine how look. I'm gonna just be real. What I hate is this. Stop trying to hold kids to grown men standards. What do you mean by that, champ? You know what? If one of these kids was saying, I'm finna enter the transfer portal and entered the portal during the season and was negotiating new deals during the season, what would we call that young man?
Selfish.
Selfish, immature, self centered, spoiled. But Lane Kiffin gets to negotiate during the season, by the way, much like Bobby Petrino did, with the Falcons. It's headline news. This could have waited until after the college football playoffs. So that way these young men are not distracted. This should have to wait until after the season. You should not be allowed to negotiate with coaches during training camp and during the season. Because now it creates a distraction with these young men. They're wondering what their fate is going to be. Who's going to be the new head coach? Am I going to have to enter the transfer portal? Guess what? They may tell you to turn off the outside noise, but guess what? You're still thinking about your coach is about to leave. So if a kid says, hey man, next year I'm entering the transfer portal, then, oh yeah, he's selfish, he's self-centered, he's not worried about the team. But this guy gets to sign a fat old contract in the middle of the season, 2 games before the end of the season, 2 games before the Egg Bowl. Mind you, these young men are about to go on Thanksgiving break.
Yes.
These young men are about to go to Thanksgiving break right before the Egg Bowl, the biggest rivalry in Mississippi. They're about to go on there, and on top of that, they're getting ready to go to the college football playoffs because they have a record good enough in order to do that. Can you imagine the distractions that are going through their head at this point? Should I transfer? Should I go pro? Coach Kiffin is not going to be here. But yet, we hold these young kids when they say I'm entering the transfer portal to the highest of standards. But yet, he's getting ready to sign a fat contract with a school, by the way, who's trying not to pay their previous coach the money after they physically fired him. Now they're trying to say, well, we didn't officially fire him. He just didn't come to work. He's literally going to work for that school who's already mired in a controversy over buyout money. So let's keep the same energy. When we see these young men leave and go to the transfer portal, that's like I don't want to hear nothing else about the transfer portal. That has killed college football. That has killed. No. Hell no. Not when these coaches in the middle of the season, when they're distracting the team, guess what? They get to sign a big fat contract. And guess what? It's so bad that the alumni and the athletic director had to put pressure on him and put an ultimatum on him in order for him to make the decision. So let's stop holding these young men to grown man standards. Guess what? Lane Kiffin is grown. He can do whatever he would like. But guess what? When he gets a fat contract, everybody wants to, yeah, he deserves it. Okay. When these kids say, I'm finna go somewhere else and go to the transfer portal because guess what? I want to get paid more. Let's stop looking at them as selfish. I don't want to hear that ever again because this guy's signing a fat contract in the middle of a college football playoff run. The team can very well has a chance to go win the college football playoffs. But in the midst of that, the team and these young men are being distracted about the point that you may leave and go to LSU. It's inexcusable.
All right.
And when people start talking about the transfer portal and all of that, now that you're seeing this, I don't want to hear anything else about these young men transferred or asking for more money. Because in the middle of a college football playoff run that you have a chance to go and win, by the way, you're going to sit around here and sign a contract and distract these young men. I don't want to hear anybody else, any football savant, talk about these young men or young women when it comes to college basketball, volleyball, saying, well, you're being selfish. No, because when these coaches go sign these fat ass contracts, you don't say a word. You tell them they're good coaches and they're allowed to move on.
And shout out to our guy Grant. LSU is playing, y'all. Champ, I sent you the report just now. But look, Champ, real quick on. I want to get your take on Shador Sanders, real short and quick, because we got to talk about James Franklin.
Uh, Look, whether people want to acknowledge this or not, he has to go out here and have a good performance. They're looking for a reason to write him off. They're looking for a reason to nitpick. Rex Ryan, number one, you were no hell of a coach. Number one, you had 2 winning seasons your entire career. You weren't no hell of a coach. You had 2 winning seasons. And during the course of that time, you were more known for your personality and your mouth than winning football games. Let's go eat a you know what snack. Not to mention when he had, that little feet thing in the newspaper, in the New York newspaper. So you were a distraction to your team a lot of the times. It's just that you had the personality and things in order to get away with it those first 2 years. But after those first 2 years in New York, you wasn't no hell of a coach. The team got worse and worse and worse after them first 2 years. You wasn't no hell of a coach, Rex Ryan. Let's just keep it a buck. You went to those 2 AFC championship, got blown out of the water, and it showed. So stop nitpicking on Shador Sanders. Guess what? If you're gonna, the thing is, you had so many. The thing is this, to be honest, point 30 seconds. You had so many positives that you could have stated about Shador during the course of that big, huge loss where he knew and acknowledged that he had a terrible performance, that he went and told the team that it's on me. I'm the reason that we lost. That he went and told everybody, stay off of Dylan Gabriel. That he says, hey, I just want to be a good teammate. I don't want to be a distraction. You saw all of that, but yet you deemed it fit to talk about how he's sitting on the sideline, skipping over everything good that he did, knowing that you were not a good coach yourself. You were known more for your personality than your coaching. So lay off. You were not no hellified coach. You were nowhere near what your father was. Buddy Ryan was a hell of a coach. You was mid at best. At